Hi, and welcome to another episode of Starship Gaming. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell if you want notifications of when we release more awesome videos. Now, let's jump right into today's review of Alien Trilogy, and we are going to review the Sony PlayStation version. Now, there were also versions of it released for Sega Saturn and for DOS. But we're just going to look at the PS1 version. So before I say anything else, Alien Trilogy, a game released in 1996 for the Sony PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and DOS. This game is absolutely a Doom clone, which Doom clones were fairly common between 1994 all the way up until about 1998. So roughly about a 4-year period of time. So the biggest thing I'll say about Alien Trilogy is that it mildly holds up today to some extent. The rooms are 3D modeled and they're done very beautifully, like the environment is done very well. But of course, it's an Alien game, so it's obviously based on the movies. Or is it? It is called Alien Trilogy, but it more closely follows Aliens than the other three. I think what it means is that this game is more or less an amalgamation of all three movies, so it loosely follows anything that goes on in those movies. But of course you play as the protagonist Ellen Ripley, who is the main character in the original Alien Trilogy, and you basically just are dropped in and you just go to town on some aliens. You get rid of them. I think the biggest comparison to Doom, there's actually a level, specifically level 4 is when it starts. You run into infected humans. Now, if you remember in the Alien series, there were never any infected humans. So this is obviously a reference to specifically Doom, because it's pretty obvious. You have soldiers who are fighting back that are infected, and there weren't any in the movie, so this is the biggest comparison to Doom. You know, this is basically the biggest thing saying, hey, this is a Doom clone. But the gameplay is actually really smooth. It's for a game that came out in 1996, now my biggest complaint is the sprites. The sprites don't look very good. They look cheap. They look real static. But the 3D environment is really well done. I think out of the sprites, the only one that really looks good is the facehugger. Crawling along the ground and jumping out and everything. That's the only one that still looks good by, I guess you could say by today's standards. Of course, the original game was released in a long box. I owned a copy of the game. I started playing the game about a month ago, and it was a game that I used to rent when my local Kroger had a video rental store. I rented it probably around 2000, and I got through the first 6 or 7 levels, and it scared the crap out of me. And I said, nope, not playing this damn thing, and I sent it back to the video store. About 10 years later, I ended up getting a loose disc copy for about $1.99 at a local thrift store. Ended up playing through it again, put it on my shelf, didn't play it again for 10 more years. And then last month, I picked it up for the first time in about nearly 10 years, and started playing it again, and played through the whole game in about 2 days. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, I actually got to give this a 5. It holds up pretty well. The scares are there. I mean, it's not as scary as Resident Evil or Silent Hill, but the scares are there, especially the jump scares when you have you break a box open and here comes a facehugger out of nowhere. Or you open the door and an alien or several aliens are sitting there waiting for you. I'd say you got to pick this one up. It's absolutely a fun game. You can get a long box copy roughly for about $25 or $30. Yeah, it's a little bit of money. But the greatest hits version is the cheaper one to find, $10 to $15 complete in box, or roughly $5 to $10 used loose. But this is one game, especially if you are a Alien fan or whatever, or you like science fiction games in general, or, you know, action games. This is a game you definitely want to sit down and spend a few days playing through. There are approximately 30 levels, and the first few levels are easy. Once you get to level 4, that's when the difficulty starts to kick in. So tell me in the comments down below, have you ever played this game? If you have, what did you think about it? Or if you haven't played this game, is this a game you think you might want to give it a try? Of course, if you want to see more things about it, of course you can go on YouTube and look up the footage for the game, or even watch a walkthrough of it. But I say this is definitely one that you want to pick up. It is absolutely fun, and you will love it. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we release more awesome videos. And until next time, I will see ya.